Hello, I'm Terry from Tama Drums. I'd like to talk to you today about Tama's newest bass drum pedal. It's called the Speed Cobra. It's part of the Iron Cobra pedal family, but mechanically speaking, it brings a lot of innovations to the pedal market. One of the unique features of this pedal happens to be the longer footboard. It's the longest footboard we've ever offered on a Tama pedal. The longer footboard provides more throw, more acceleration. Having a longer footboard isn't the only reason this pedal feels the way it does. It has a lot to do with the placement. We call it a recess setting. Now what we mean by that is we've actually pulled the footboard farther back. It's really exaggerated. It also pulls the chain quite a bit farther back. It's a very, very extreme angle on the chain. We discovered that by pulling the chain back and putting the longer footboard at the recess setting, this added a great deal of energy and acceleration to the pedal stroke. It's almost like a catapult. The chain's connected to what we call the light sprocket. The light sprocket is 40% lighter in mass than a typical sprocket. So those three key components tied together, the longer footboard, the exaggerated angle of the chain due to the recess setting, and the light sprocket equal more inertia, more power, but with less effort. I also want to mention the new fastball bearing system. We tested a multitude of bearings and we decided on this unique bearing. It's the same bearing that's used in the automobile industry for ABS systems. It's also used in computer hard drives. The bearing system is mounted in a very unique way. Unlike the typical compression that you see in a lot of pedals nowadays, where the bearing is actually pressed into the frame or it's put on top of the frame and then it's compressed from the top, this bearing system is mounted from the side. It's laid inside and placed inside, and there's a simple cover that goes over the top. No pressure is on the ball bearing. This new housing guarantees the ball bearing stays perfectly round. If it's perfectly round, there will be no friction. If there's no friction, the performance of the ball bearing will be maximized. This smooth spinning action contributes to the overall feel of the pedal. It's lightning fast. One of the other options that makes this pedal feel the way it does is the actual spring we selected. This is what we call the super spring. We tested a variety of springs in the marketplace and decided that this one is the one that makes this pedal fly. It's got just the right amount of tension, just the right amount of coil windings, just the right length. It just really brings this pedal to life. The beater has a very unique shape. It's got an extreme point which gives you a lot of attack, a lot of punch. It's also adjustable. If you like a slightly fatter sound, a little meatier sound, you can just use a drum key, loosen the head, tilt it back, tighten it up, and you have a very different bass drum sound than you had just a minute ago. As I mentioned before, this is part of the Iron Cobra family, so it's built on the foundation of some of the key functions and some of the key features of Iron Cobra pedals. It does use the Cobra coil, also has the paraclamp design, the oilless bearing hinges, comes with its own hard shell carrying case. For quite a while we've had several artists testing the pedals, artists that play entirely different musical styles. Some play single bass drums, some play double bass, some play double pedal. Some of the positive comments we're getting back are the ease of playing, the lightness, the feeling, and how not only smooth the pedal is, but how powerful it is. As we all know, there are a lot of choices in the market today. A lot of different pedals, a lot of different drums, a lot of different cymbals, whatever you can think of. There's so many choices. The only way to find out if this pedal is for you is to try one yourself. See if you feel the difference.